Welcome dear student. Today we deals with the drug acting on the blood and blood forming agents. In this chapter we see the what is meant by anemia and hematinics agents and classification of anemia. In this session we see learning outcomes of our today's session. After watching this video, students should able to understand and recognize what is meant by anemia, classification of anemia, then hematinics, different hematinics agents like cyanocobalamin, that is vitamin B12, folic acid, liver extracts and iron. Let's start our session. First of all, we see what is meant by anemia. A decrease in the oxygen carrying capacity of the blood is called as the anemia. The oxygen carrying capacity of the blood depend on the hemoglobin content of the erythrocytes. Erythrocytes means RBC, red blood cells. Hence, reduction in the blood hemoglobin level and number of circulating erythrocytes are characteristics of the anemia. This is the oxygenated blood and this is the deoxygenated blood. When oxygen carrying capacity is lower down, that condition is known as the anemia. And this is the deoxygenated blood is the anemic blood. Then the erythropoiesis, it is the process of erythrocyte formation and red bone marrow. That is the erythrocyte formation process which is happening which is carried out in the red bone marrow. The maturation of the erythrocyte occur in the several different stages. The deficiency of the various dietary factors such as the iron, folic acid, vitamin B12 disturb the normal erythropoiesis, resulting into the anemia. These are the some factors which are responsible for the anemia, that is the dietary factors like the iron, folic acid, vitamin B12. If they has the deficiency, then that person will be the anemic one. Erythropoiesis, that is the Greek word. Erythro means the red and poiesis means to make. It is the process which produces the red blood cells, that is erythrocytes, which is development from the erythropoietic stem cells of the mature red blood cells one. Then this is the normal amount of RBC which required our body. This is the anemic or anemic person's RBC content, which may be the more and more lower than the normal person one. Then we see the classification of the anemia. Anemia due to the deficiency of the dietary factors responsible for the blood formation. Example of its iron, folic acid, vitamin B12, vitamin C. If these factors are lower down or deficient to human, then the anemic condition will be arise. Anemia due to the loss of the blood such as the menorrhea or menorrhagia, anemia due to the blood destruction, anemia due to the aplastic or hypoplasia of bone marrow such as the aplastic and hypoplastic anemia. These are the number of classes from which anemia can be carried out due to the dietary deficiency, due to the menorrhea, due to the blood destruction, due to the aplastic or hypoglycemia of bone marrow. Then next one is the anemia of uncertain origin, that is due to the infection or liver disease, etc. What is meant by menorrhagia? Abnormally heavy bleeding at the menstruation period. Aplastic or hypoplastic anemia means these are the characterized by the impaired erythropoiesis due to the decreased hematopoietic cells in the bone marrow. Impairment of the erythropoiesis can result from the acquired condition or inherited defect in the bone marrow functioning. That's why that person is suffer from the aplastic or hypoplastic anemia. Then the another one classification of the anemia by the morphological anemia can be classified morphologically. That means the size of the red blood cells. These are the some normal cells of RBC. These are some microcytic. Microcytic means from normal size of our RBC gets smaller one, or in a microcytic one the RBC gets smaller than the normal one. Macro means the RBC can be grown above that normal size, that is macrocytic. Then hypochromic means color of the RBC, it's fade one, it is known as the hypochromic. First classification of the morphological anemia: microcytic hypochromic anemia, that is the microcytic means RBC is smaller one, and hypochromic, the color is also fade one, where the size of the red blood cell is the smaller than the normal and amount of hemoglobin is less than the normal. Then the microcytic anemia, this is the microcytic anemia where the size of the RBC is smaller than the normal one. Then macrocytic anemia where the size of the RBC is larger than the normal. Then normocytic normochromic anemia where only the number of RBC is less one. Then normocytic hypochromic. Normocytic means normal anemia, normal RBCs, but the color is RBC's color or RBC's concentration is less one. Then the macrocytic hypochromic anemia, that is dimorphic, which is also known as the dimorphic anemia. Then we see the what is meant by macrocytic anemia. It is the condition in which your body has over large red blood cells and not enough normal RBCs. Then the hypochromic anemia, it is a genetic term for the any type of anemia in which the RBC are paler than the normal one. Hypo means less and chromic means color. Then microcytic anemia, it is defined as the presence of small or even hypochromic RBC in the peripheral blood smear, and it is usually characterized by the low MCV, that is less than 83 micron. Then iron deficiency, it is the most common cause of the microcytic anemia. This is the normal RBC one. Normal RBC's length is 80 to 100 FL. Then this is the microcytic, which the length is the 80 FL, and in a macro one, more than 100 FL is its length one. Then we see the hematinics. Hematinics, these are the drugs which rise the number of RBC in the amount of the hemoglobin to the normal level and above when they are below the normal one. These are the agents which increases the number of RBC or which increases the amount of hemoglobin into our blood. Treatment of anemia include: in the macrocytic anemia, due to the cause, a liver extract, vitamin B12, folic acid, each alone or in the combination is used in a macrocytic when the size is more than the normal one. But in pernicious anemia, vitamin B12 is specified. Pernicious anemia, that means it is sickle cell anemia where the shape of RBC is the sickle, just like a sickle, crescent moon. In hypochromic anemias, the microcytic anemia, iron is specified. In hypochromic and microcytic, iron is prescribed. Then in a dimorphic anemia, treatment with the combination of the hematopoietic factors, iron being the constant factor one, amongst that combinations such as the iron and liver extract, iron, folic acid and vitamin B12, iron, folic acid, iron, then iron and vitamin B12 etc. are used in the treatment of the dimorphic anemia. Then in a very severe anemia, that is the example of it is hemoglobin only 20% or below, due to any cause, blood transfusion is necessary for that condition. In all cases of the anemia, side by side with the treatment of the anemia, the etiological treatment should also be given. Then we see the first hematinic, that is the cyanocobalamin, that is vitamin B12. Synthesis, it is synthesized in the solely by the microorganisms in the soil, water, intestine of the animals. Its source: non-vegetarian foods like the mussels, liver, kidney, fish, egg yolk are the rich in the vitamin B12. The vegetarian obtains vitamin B12 from the milk product, legumes, nodules of the roots, vegetables. The dietary requirements of this vitamin B12 is the minimum daily requirement in an adult is not exactly known, but it is extremely small, about 1 microgram per day. Considerably incomplete absorption of food vitamin B12. The recommended daily dietary intake as 2 microgram for the adult and 3 microgram for the pregnant women and lactating mothers, 0.3 microgram for the infants. Then we see the absorption of vitamin B12. Vitamin B12 is absorbed only in the presence of the intrinsic factor produced by the cells of the gastric mucosa. In a stomach there is gastric mucosa cells which are responsible for the produce this intrinsic factor. Thus very little or none is absorbed in case of the pernicious anemia, where the intrinsic factor is absent. In a pernicious anemia, this intrinsic factor is totally absent one. That's why very little vitamin B12 absorption is carried out in the pernicious anemia condition. It is essential property of the intrinsic factor to bind the vitamin B12 and to act as a carrier. Cyanocobalamin can be get absorbed without the help of the intrinsic factor, but the dose needed in the milligram one. Cyanocobalamin's dose is in a normal 2 microgram or 1 microgram, or for the pregnant lactating mothers 3 microgram. But if the intrinsic factor is present, if the intrinsic factor is absent, then we require the more amount of the cyanocobalamin in the milligrams one. This type of absorption occur in the simple diffusion. It is given intramuscularly or subcutaneously in the rapid absorption. After absorption, it is bound to the globulin fraction in the plasma. Only 2 to 10% circulate as a free fraction. It is then taken by the kidney, spleen, but major portion stored in the liver. This major portion is stored in the liver and only 2 to 10% circulate in the blood. Then excretion. Vitamin B12 excreted in the biles, but most of it is reabsorbed so that it is close enterohepatic circulation. It is close into the enterohepatic circulation. That's why its excretion is very less one. Then the preparation and dose. Cyanocobalamin injection IP 100 microgram per ml. Cyanocobalamin injection which is available in the 100, 500, 1000 microgram vitamin B12 either in alone or in the intrinsic factor is available for the oral therapy. Adverse reactions of it. No adverse reaction has been reported following the large dose of the cyanocobalamin. Therapeutic uses. It is effectively used in the treatment of the megaloblastic anemia which occur due to the vitamin B12 deficiency. Then pernicious anemia, vitamin B12 to be given parenterally as it is not significant absorbed when it is given orally. Then we see the next hematinic agent, that is the folic acid. Folic acid, it has been named folic acid because it is found in the green leaves. Liver, yeast, eggs, meat, dairy products are also important sources of the folic acid. As in case of the vitamin B12, it is a physiological dose, 1 microgram, also be absorbed by the active process, where the large dose are absorbed by the diffusion. The amount of folic acid is excreted in urine depends on the dose. Vitamin C protects the reduced product tetrahydrofolic acid from the oxidative destruction. Unlike vitamin B12, folate gets selectively concentrated in the spinal fluid. The exact daily requirement of folate is not known. Folate is folic acid. But it appears to be the 200 microgram in the pregnant and lactating mothers. It is almost non-toxic and no adverse reaction have been reported with this folic acid. Then we see the folic acid tablet dose is available in the 5 to 20 milligram. Therapeutic uses. Folic acid is commonly used in the treating the below mentioned anemia, Therapeutic uses of the folic acid in a nutritional megaloblastic anemia, anemia due to the impaired absorption, anemia due to the impaired utilization. Next we see the liver extract. Crude liver contain both vitamin B12 and folic acid. Purified liver preparation contain mainly the vitamin B12. Being biological product, liver extract is not much stable one. The injection is painful. All the preparations are not so effective and often palatable. Palatable means they are easy to take, easy to swallow for the oral administration. Because of these disadvantages, these preparation no more advocated or no more advised. These are not palatable one and these are painful one. Then the next hematopoietic agent is iron. Iron is an essential factor for the normal hemopoiesis and it is found especially in the liver, egg yolk, spinach and the peas. The average diet supplies about 15 to 20 milligrams of elemental iron daily, of which perhaps only 5 to 20% is available in the or available for the absorption. We take 15 to 20 milligram of iron, among that only 5 to 20% is available for the absorption because as it is reset from insoluble complexes with the phytates and phosphates in the alkaline medium of low intestine in the lower intestines. Because of the complex insoluble complex formed with the phytates and phosphates in the lower intestine, only 5 to 20% fraction is absorbed one of total content of the iron. Then absorption, iron must be ionized at the pH not less than 5 or to be absorbed, which occur in the stomach, duodenum and jejunum, where the pH is almost equal to 5. Where the ferric iron is not so well absorbed as the ferrous iron. Ferrous form of the iron is well absorbed. Ferric iron, that is Fe triple plus, is not well absorbed one. Then, but it is reduced to the ferrous form by substance in the food such as the ascorbic acid. Ascorbic acid, that is the vitamin C. Vitamin C is responsible for the conversion of the ferric ions into the ferrous. Then protein sulfhydryl groups and fatty acids are responsible for conversion of ferric to the ferrous one. Ferrous is a more absorbed form of the iron. Then the process of absorption is not clear. Absorbed iron is transferred to the blood by the apoferritin system. If the content of the iron in the body is high, the system is saturated and no iron is absorbed and vice versa. There is some 930 gram of hemoglobin in the body, that is 15.5 gram per 100 ml of the blood, which of 0.3% is elemental iron, that is 100 ml of blood contain about 50 milligram of iron. Our 100 milligram of blood contain 50 milligram of iron and total 930 milligram if present in a body, it means our hemoglobin is about 15.5 gram. Then the total body iron is about 3 to 5 grams, of which hemoglobin iron forms some 60 to 70%, that is 2 to 3 grams, and the rest is ferritin, cytochrome and myoglobin. Our total body contain 3 to 5 grams of the iron. Amongst our hemoglobin use 60 to 70% and remaining it is going into the rest of the ferritin system, cytochromes and myoglobin. There is a sum 930 gram of hemoglobin in our body, okay, and about 100 ml of blood contain 50 milligram of the iron. Iron circulates in the plasma as a complex with the plasma protein, transferrin. There is no free iron. The transferrin system should bind more than 3 milligram of iron per liter of the blood, but normally has only 0.8 to 1.7 milligram per liter and is therefore partially saturated one. The average life of the RBC is about 120 days. So less than 1% is destroyed in each day. This reset is a release of about 20 milligram of iron, but most of it is reused for the hemopoiesis. Amongst the total content, only 20 milligram of iron is destroyed because 1% of the RBC is destroyed each day, and and it is also used for the hemopoiesis process. The actual loss of iron by the human male is about 1 milligram daily, occur via the urine, skin and the hairs. The loss in the female is more uncertain, and it is the in the menstruating women may be up to 2 to 3 gram daily, as the menstrual flow forms a major source of the loss. Then the need for the iron will also increase the markedly in the pregnancy, lactation, as fetus requires about 200 to 400 milligram of iron, as well as there is a loss of the placenta, loss in the placenta during the childbirth and lactation. That means the women need the more amount of iron than the men. Then administration of the iron. Iron deficiency is characterized by the microcytic hypochromic anemia. It may be caused by the inadequate intake, especially in the women of the reproductive age, in the inadequately weakened babies, or poorly cared elder persons or elder people. It may be found in the malabsorption syndromes such as the celiac disease, steatorrhea, and the after partial gastrostomy. The chronic loss of the blood is like to cause the iron deficiency in the anemia. Iron may be administered orally or partially. We see the malabsorption syndrome. First of all is the celiac disease. It is a condition where your immune system attacks your own tissue when you eat the gluten. This is the damage to your gut, that is your this damage to your small intestine, so you are unable to take the nutrient. Celiac disease can cause the range of the symptoms including the diarrhea, abdominal pain and bloating. In this disease there is a inability of our body to digest the gluten. Then the next is a condition that is the steatorrhea. It is the presence of excess of fat in the feces, due to which malabsorption syndrome occurs. And the next one is the gastrectomy. It is used to provide a route for the tube feeding if needed for the 4 weeks or longer, and or to vent the stomach for the air and the drainage. If the gastrectomy is used when the operations that person is not able to take the food, or it have the major operative surgery, in that case there is these 3 conditions are responsible for the malabsorption syndromes. Then we see the oral administration of the irons. The merits of the various forms of the iron are controversial, but its allowance is made for the personal bias and advertising. It is probable that the ferrous sulfate is good as any other compound if equal amount of elemental iron are given. It is certainly cheapest than the most. The most used form of the oral ions are ferrous sulfate tablet 200 mg, ferrous gluconate tablet 300 mg, ferrous fumarate tablet 200 mg. Then the parenteral administration of iron. This may be required if there is a proven malabsorption, that is in the we see in the next in the behind slide, that is a celiac disease. If the patient is incapable of being trusted to take the iron by the mouth, if there is a genuine intolerance to the oral iron, or the late in pregnancy to replenish the stores. In this session, we see what is meant by anemia, classification of anemia, hematinics, in that cyanocobalamin, folic acid, liver extract, ions. Thank you very much for attending this session. Thank you.